Some delays are divine, the old man said with a glint in his eye, his weathered hand resting gently on hers. But hours earlier, Simone Thomas had no idea how those words would echo through the rest of her life. It all began with a mad dash through the crowded concourse of O'Hare International Airport. Simone, 32, tugged her suitcase behind her like a reluctant child, weaving through travelers like a pro. Her curls bounced with every hurried step, sweat beading at her temples as she glanced at the departure board. Gate C12. Flight 187 to Los Angeles. Final boarding. Simone clutched her phone and ID, her heart pounding. Today wasn't just another business trip, it was a chance. A career-making opportunity. After years of scraping by as a freelance consultant, she had finally been invited to pitch her app to a tech incubator. One shot. One flight. One room full of decision-makers who could change her life. But as she neared the security checkpoint, something, or someone, slowed her down. He was sitting on a bench near the TSA line. An elderly man, maybe in his late 70s or early 80s, silver-haired, dressed in a crumpled navy blazer. He looked confused, turning his head slowly as people passed, his lips moving soundlessly. No one noticed him. Except Simone. At first, she hesitated. Every instinct screamed at her to keep moving. You'll miss your flight. Someone else will help him. It's not your problem. But she stopped. She couldn't ignore the tremble in his hands or the anxiety in his eyes. Something inside her, maybe her grandmother's voice, maybe just her humanity, made her double back. "Sir, are you all right?" she asked, kneeling beside him. He looked at her, startled, then relieved. I don't know where I am. I was flying to New York. I think. Or maybe. I was supposed to meet someone." His voice faded. Simone's eyes softened. She sat beside him, gently taking his hand. "It's okay. I'm Simone. Can I help you find your boarding pass? Maybe your phone?" His hands shook as he pulled out a worn wallet, filled with receipts and photos but no ID. No phone. Just a boarding pass, smudged and barely legible. Flight 149 to JFK. Gate F-19. Boarding closed 10 minutes ago. Her heart sank. "I think you missed your flight," she said gently. He looked down, as if realizing it for the first time. "Oh. I must have gotten lost. It's been happening more lately. My daughter usually travels with me, but this time, she couldn't come." Simone checked the time. Her own flight was minutes from departure. But looking at him, confused, vulnerable, forgotten by a sea of people, she made her decision. She flagged down an airport staff member, explained the situation, and stayed by his side as they contacted airport security. She spoke calmly as they asked questions, helped him recall his daughter's name, Margaret, and waited patiently as they searched records. "I'm really sorry about this," she said, watching her flight disappear without her. He squeezed her hand. "Don't be. You've been kinder to me than anyone has in a long time." 2 hours later, his daughter arrived, teary-eyed and panicked. "Dad," she cried, rushing to him. "Thank God." The old man stood slowly and turned to Simone. "What's your name again?" "Simone Thomas." He nodded slowly, as if committing it to memory. "I won't forget you, Simone." She smiled. "I hope you don't." But she didn't linger. Her dream pitch was gone. The chance she'd worked years for had slipped through her fingers like sand. She took a cab back home, defeated but oddly at peace. 3 weeks passed. Simone tried to bounce back. She applied to new incubators, followed up with past clients, and even posted on LinkedIn about the missed opportunity, but never mentioned why she missed her flight. People wouldn't understand. She barely understood it herself. Then one morning, an envelope arrived in the mail. No return address. Just her name. Inside was a letter on thick, embossed paper. Dear Simone. You probably don't remember me. I'm the old man you helped at the airport. My name is Arthur Brennan. I'm the founder and majority owner of Atlantic Skies Airlines. I was recently diagnosed with early-stage Alzheimer's. That day was harder than most. But your kindness cut through the fog. You stayed. You gave up something important. And you didn't even ask for anything in return. I haven't forgotten. I never will. I looked you up, read about your tech idea. Local Bridge is brilliant. Connecting underserved communities with local business opportunities. That's genius. So here's what I've done. I've arranged a meeting for you with my investment team next Friday. Full pitch. Full support. No gimmicks. Just a real shot. You deserve it. And if you ever need a flight again, just call the number at the bottom of this page. It's my assistant. She'll take care of you, first class, wherever you go. Some delays are divine, Simone. I hope yours was. Warmly. Arthur Brennan. Simone stood frozen, the letter trembling in her hands. She couldn't believe it. Arthur Brennan. She had helped Arthur Brennan. And now, her missed flight was the very reason her dream was still alive. Friday arrived faster than she expected. Nervous but prepared, Simone walked into a glass building downtown and was greeted by a team of smiling executives. Arthur wasn't there, but his influence was everywhere. The meeting went better than she could have dreamed. The panel listened intently, asked thoughtful questions, and by the end, the lead investor stood and extended his hand. Let's build this together. She walked out of the building stunned. Not just because she'd secured funding, but because everything had come full circle. Months later, Local Bridge was officially launched. Simone stood on stage at a tech conference, presenting her platform to hundreds of community leaders and entrepreneurs. In the front row sat a familiar figure, older, smiling, eyes glassy but sharp. Arthur Brennan. She pointed him out mid-speech. There's a man in this room who taught me that success isn't just about seizing every opportunity. Sometimes, it's about being willing to miss one for the right reason. The audience turned to see Arthur tip his hat. The applause was thunderous. That night, Simone sat with Arthur and his daughter over dinner. You changed my life, Simone, Arthur said. You changed mine, she replied. He chuckled. You know, my staff asked if I wanted to give you a reward that day. A check. A plaque. But I said, no. I want to give her something that lasts. Something earned. You did, she said softly. Life moved on, as it always does. But Simone never forgot that moment of choice. The seconds where she had to decide between her ambition and her empathy. She chose heart over hustle. And in doing so, she got both. Because sometimes, missing a flight isn't the end of the story. Sometimes, it's the beginning.